YouTube, 2T UK.
Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again, it's Saturday, Sunday. Hey, 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 go, what? Go, go, what? Let's go! Let's go! What? Hey! 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 No, you did!
Tails, the booter.
looks like
Bootin'.
back on the menu, boys.
The bootin'. Booty. We are recording this on Sunday. It's been a while since I did a Sunday video on a Sunday. You won't probably see it on the Sunday, mind, but just to show it is Sunday. I don't know if you can even see that. I don't know why I bother putting anything on there. It's Fire and Claude. But just to show you, it is Sunday and it is fucking warm. 31 and climbing, doors has been shut. But Fire and Claude, which I've shown the last vid that no one watched, no one cares about. Hope we're all well. More stupidity in the UK. As of use the camera. As of the 20th of September, it's all just gone stupid again. Not here to talk about that. The pandemic, the scamdemic. But we were booting today with me mate Rob. Oh, I've got to sort these out. And did really well. I've got some other stuff that I'll show at the end as well, which is non-Carboot. So like Tales from Blast Furnace. This is Tales from Zibuta. I'm quite excited, as you can tell. Start with the lower end stuff, which I was just flicking through here. Couple of kids came like relatively late. Just asked, have you got any gaming stuff? They said, yeah, we've got some Xbox One. I mean, Xbox One and PS4, quite a lot of it was at the boot today. £5 a game and stuff. I didn't even entertain them because I don't know what they're worth. I can't be bothered to check. But anyway, they said, oh, but we've got some remotes as well. Look, free remotes. So how much are them? And he sort of said, oh, I think they've got the nunchucks. You had to dig them out. Because I was thinking like £1 each. So I was like, yes, I'll take them all day. So free nunchucks, free remotes, £3. I'm in! That wasn't the first thing. That was probably the last thing I picked up. For a £5, took a punt on it. Oh, actually, I was a bit naughty. So this guy, I'd asked him, probably about my age, asked him, got any games? He said, no, only PS4. PS4's like, yeah, not that bothered. He's like, alright, no worries. I wandered off. Did a few laps, blah, blah, blah. Come back to his stall anyway, and he had a bit more stuff out. I looked on the floor in this box, and I just saw it in the corner poking out. It was like the little hologramming on the PS2 box. And I was like, and there was other stuff on top of it, so I pulled all the shit out. Sure enough, there's a pile of games in there, and I was like, oh, I thought you said you didn't have anything else. He went, didn't even know they were in there. The lad must have put them in there. The lad's older, which I found out later on. So I started going through this pile of games. So on the top was PS2, nothing great in there whatsoever. And then towards the bottom was more like last gen type stuff, so there's like some PS3 and Wii games. So I put a little bundle together, and I did say to him there's 4 here. He goes, call it 5, but there's not, because there's Wii Sports in the middle. So basically £1 a game. F1 Race Stars. I took a punt on this one. I can't remember if there was one of these ones, like this sort of SD racing type game that's not too bad in terms of value. Lego Lord of the Rings. I know some of these the arses fell out. Wii Sports Cardboard, Indiana Jones 2, and the original Indiana Jones. So yeah, 5 are there. If I get, you know, if I can double my money at CX, I'll be happy. I'm not sure. I haven't even checked anything. I've checked nothing. I've just not long come back to say, me and mate Rob stalling out. Did all right, you know. Sold some more. Filling that garage out really well. And having a good morning. Always a laugh. Always a good time. Seeing Lewis, seeing Inkyox Ian. Nice to see them pair. Lewis was very keen on a certain pickup that I had, which I didn't tell him about. Rob did, bless him. But like, Lewis has done good in the past. You know, like I've always said regarding the boot, if I don't get it and Lewis does, it makes no bones to me. As long as someone's getting it, that's still in there. Fuck that. Anyway, from another store, and this was an oldish couple. I think he definitely was disabled because he was sat down for most of it. So the woman was getting a lot of the stuff out, and on top there was a Wii, but it was kind of loose. Well, it was kind of loose. It was loose, but with nothing else really with it at all either. No like remotes. I think the stand and the power brick was at the bottom of the box, but that was it. So I sort of said to the lady, "Oh, you haven't got any games for this, have you?" She said no. And as she did that, she went out with another box. Well, in that box was this poking out, and I was like, checked inside, and sure enough, the DS is in there. DS Lite's in there, but in the box with the Wii was the actual charger. So I bundled it all up together. I just sort of said to the guy, "How much is this?" He was like, "I don't know, £4." So yeah, so it's obviously theirs. I did leave the other 2 games in the boxes because I'm not having them, but they are here. Look, brain training. Obviously, I've got no interest in keeping this, but the box, I've just thought as I was looking at it, it does look. It's one of the more, I'll say obscure. I don't know, but I don't know if Ian watches anymore. Herbie 007. Do you want the box, mate? I know you got a bit of a DS. Like, I might drop him a message, see if he wants the box. I say I will just get rid of it because this is just going to CEX. This is all right. It's in nice condition. Obviously, old people have had it. Needs a bit of a clean. £4. Yeah. Sad as a pound. So yeah. Really, that's all there is to say about that. £4. I think CEX about £16 on them, something like that. Did they always say that? I don't know. I've been up since 4 o'clock. Give me a break. Right. So that was the DS was basically did it in reverse order essentially. This was the first thing I picked up, and after this, that's it. Then there's nothing out. My God, it's been fucking ages since I found anything remotely like this at the Carboot. And you know, Rob was saying, and me and Lewis were sort of saying, you know, they're few and far between. So it's a woman and a daughter, and I don't know, you know, it was really early. So it was that early. It was dark. You couldn't fucking see. You had to have the old fucking torch on your phone. And sometimes when it's like that, it's not really worth asking because they can't see what they're doing anyway. I don't know what it was. Someone just said to me, just asked them. So I just said, look, don't suppose you've got any computer video game type stuff, have you? She said, yeah, we've got some PlayStation. And that was the mum. And then the daughter said, yeah, and we've got some Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Obviously my fucking heart then, I was like, what? And I thought they were going to say the dreaded words, oh, but we don't know whether they have to come back because it was pitch black. Obviously they're getting stuff out of the car, and I just turned my fucking phone to the boot of the car so they could see in it. And there was a plastic tub, quite a long plastic tub, and I could see it all in there. And I was like, oh, there it is. So I pulled it, they pulled it out. I just literally got my phone, went over it, didn't even really look at it, to be honest, and just said, how much do you want for the lot? And they'd already had a price at the front, like already stuck on it ready. And said, oh, we were asking £20. I couldn't get the fucking £20 out my wallet fast enough. So I was like, fucking straight away, I said, look, you need to hold my phone. Got the £20. I gave him the £20. And I went, oh, I thought you said you had some PlayStation stuff. She said, yeah, I'll get the box of it. I'm thinking, fucking PlayStation 1, 2, come on, let's do it. Comes out of this little tiny box, and I could see just in the light it had PlayStation 3 written on it, £5 each. It's just a box of PlayStation 3, £5 a game. And when I bought the Super Nintendo, she even said, oh, it'd been in the garage. We didn't think anyone would be interested in it, to be honest. I was like, oh. Obviously, with the PlayStation stuff, I said, oh, well, it's mainly the older stuff anyway. I thought it might have been PlayStation 1. They said, oh, we've got that at home. But anyway, look, beggars can't be choosers. They have got a fucking Snes bundle. I have not I didn't look through it. Didn't look through it when I was at the boot until Lewis came over. He was very keen to sort of see what was doing. So I did go through it a little bit. We've got one official pad. It's all grubby as fucking hell. We've got a scope receiver. We've got another Techno pad, which looks like it's fucked. We've got a Wii speaker. I'm sure it's a Wii speaker. Some other pile of shit and cables and crap. Yeah, it's a Wii microphone speaker thing. So yeah, all that shit. I don't think there's any power supply for Snes, but I'm not that fucking bothered. It's mainly about the games. It's all about the games. Let's be honest. It's all about the games. Just in the bag. It's all rammed in there. They're all loose carts. But again, for 20 quid. Not moaning. Let's just try and get some semblance of order. Got the shit falling out of it all over the place. Bear with me. I couldn't have done this before because I didn't have any space with all the other stuff. I'm working in fucking confined conditions here. Filthy, these are absolutely filthy, but filthy rich. There's a few I haven't got. A lot of them I've already got. The Snes looks like it's fucking, I don't know, but in the war, something like Chronic. So what else is in here? Oh yeah, that's a nice one as well. So yeah, there is some nice titles. So we've got the obligatory, absolutely filthy, battered. I mean, that's seen some fucking action, isn't it? Yeah, the bottom's cracked, look. As you can see, it's cracked. But, oh, shit, fucking I ain't gonna moan, man. 20 quid. It's the games. It's all about the games. Filthy. I told you this channel's all filth, didn't I? Obligatory. Super Mario World. Not going to spend too long on these. SimCity. Pitfall. The Mine Adventure. I'm not sure if I've got that one on the Snes. Young Merlin. Again, that's one I'm not sure of. Weirdly enough, a Japanese Star Fox. That was on the top. I did see that in the dark. Mickey Mania. Again, not sure if that's one I've got or not. Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage. I think I've got that. Oh, dear me. Cannon Fodder. Not sure. Might have it. The Scope 6 I've got. So obviously they must have I had a Scope somewhere. Super Mario All Stars. The Mighty F-Zero. Can't be a soundtrack. Pack Attack is one I might not have. I think this would be alright once I clean them up. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Lamborghini American Challenge. Not sure if I've got that one or not, but I have now. This one I have got because I remember buying this from Leeds Retro Market. Ghoul Patrol, the follow-up to Zombies Ate My Neighbours. Tasmania, not sure on that one. I've definitely got the Mega Drive, obviously. The Loin King. I've got that one, I think. This one I have got, I remember buying this from CX when he first started doing SNES stuff, and I think I paid something stupid like 8 quid. And it's Jurassic Park 2, Part 2, The Chaos Continues. And Starwing, the power version. So, I don't know. There might not be the lesser games, but that's how I've done it. Some of the like, tastier ones. Ultraman, which I do have boxed. It's just like a little bit obscure of a title because it's really early release on Snes, Ultraman. But I'm sure I've got this boxed. If I haven't, I've got it loose now. Super Bomberman, that's a nice one. And probably maybe 3 of the best. Maybe, perhaps, who knows. Zelda Link to the Past, always nice to have. This one, obviously, I have got boxed because you've seen it in the last vid. Super Metroid, what's the chances? And one I'm pretty sure I don't have. I wouldn't mind this boxed. Box complete, but time will tell. And that's Illusion of Time, or Illusion of Gaia. I've got the Famicom version. So all that, 20 squids.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but when I do, they're at least 45 years old.
Like I said, I didn't even know it didn't have a power supply. I didn't even care. I didn't even look at the Snes. I was just seeing them big pile of loose fucking carts. 20 quid. Boom, we're done. Take the money. Take the money. That was it. I was done. Then I could have gone home. So yeah, stuff like that is few and far between now. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to me often enough. You know, five plus years ago, you'd find boxes like that, dusty Snes, dusty cartridges and stuff, but not anymore. Not anymore, sadly. So that's the booter done. Again, not a great deal to show, but really, per se, but some nice bits. Just random, obviously, you know, bit of eBay, bricks and mortar, retail, and Facebook. And that's it, we're done. And I can go and watch some football. I do like weather when it's like this though. It's just right, it's not too hot where it's uncomfortable. But yeah, it's short-lived now. Borrowed time, so to say. Well, off Facebook, I nearly lost these. I nearly lost it, but obviously I knew what had gone on, and I was very quick to point out what had happened. And to be honest, the guy who had sort of already paid for them understood, and there's no real challenge because they couldn't challenge it. So obviously it's off Retro Ram. I'm obviously an administrator of Retro Ram, and I seen this lady was selling a load of like controller stuff, and the prices were ridiculously cheap. They really were, and I was on it straight away. I'd looked at 2 of the things I definitely not wanted. One of them I was like unsure of, but I must have commented within like 3 minutes, I think it was. So mine's the first comment, basically saying, "Can I take these 2 items and this one here, please?" The chap after me, Bobby, or I know Bobby anyway, he'd commented like with a picture, and he'd circled all the things that he wanted. Now what had happened is the lady had got a notification from Bobby to sort of say this is what he wanted, but not mine, because maybe mine was just too quick, if that makes sense. So she'd obviously just, which she shouldn't really have done, but she obviously went to private message and did the deal with Bobby. So what's really should happen in Retro Amnesty, so everything's transparent, it's all in the thread. So obviously someone asks us something, the person selling it says, yes, you can have that. And then you go to the private message and you exchange, like, you know, PayPal details and post addresses. That didn't happen. But obviously she didn't see my message. So when I sort of saw this thread about her then sort of saying, oh, those 2 things have gone, and I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. I was the first one to comment. So it got a little bit, it wasn't heated per se, but I had to obviously put my foot down a bit and say, look, it has to go in order of interest, because we've had all these problems before in Retro Ram where people are going via notifications, and it's the internet, there's lag, there's delays, you know, people's on different networks and all this kind of stuff, so it's the fairest way, and it's in our rules anyway. And she was fine with it. So she obviously refund Bobby, and I paid her the money for these things, and it's a fucking bargain, really is a bargain. 12 quid. It's 12 quid delivered. They were like £3 each and a couple of quid for postage. Fucking. So I ended up with 2 Snes Air Max. I mean, on the post you sort of said, oh, they all work. Let's be honest, I ain't going to fucking test them. They could be empty shells, and I wouldn't fucking know any different. But I didn't realise how small these are. These are really tiny. If this had a pad rather than that stupid little disc, this would be a half decent controller. It's even got these little like grips for your fingers to hold on to, but I've never used one of these. Apparently they're not that great. Got turbo buttons. But yeah, so £3 each. So I was in straight away when I seen them anyway. But the one that I wasn't sure of, and when I looked at it, I thought that looks pretty funky. And it turns out it quite sought after, and it's a Sunsoft SunStation pad for the PlayStation. Check that bad boy out, motherfucker! And as it suggests, it is by Sunsoft. It is an official pad. But yeah, quite unusual, quite uncommon. You can program it all and stuff like that, but I'm not a fan of that sort of them shitty things. I've seen them on some of the third-party SNES pads and stuff like that back in the day. Not the greatest, but again, I'm not going to play it, am I? I'll strip them down and clean them all up, you know, as you do. Right, we'll do every man and his dog's probably got this anyway. Super Mario 3D All-Stars on the Switch. I don't usually show, I also don't collect modern stuff other than the Switch. Still in the cellophane. I did say to her daughter, do you want to play it? She just wasn't that interested. I mean, I've really got it for Mario Sunshine. I think that's such an underrated game. I love that on the Cube. Mario Galaxy, I'm not that enamoured with it. It'd be nice to see Mario 64 again. But again, I wasn't really a big Mario 64 fan, to be honest. I really enjoyed Sunshine on the Cube. I'll play it at some point. Can't play it, you can't even see anything, so it's literally an exercise in futility to try and even play anything. So I'm sure that allegedly is time limited. And I was in a shop at the weekend and he had about fucking 20 copies of it, so it might be time limited, but I think there's plenty knocking about. We'll do this one. We have completed a collection.
Oh, you bastard!
Another one, done and dusted. This is a stopgap, but fucking by Christ, it's took me the longest time to get this. It is not in the best condition. I've seen worse. I've seen worse in different ways. This is not that bad. I'll show you. But basically, it's issue 3 of the Mighty Mean Machines. Get the fuck in there, you bastard. But unfortunately, the cover. So, and people are going to fucking crucify me here, but it is taped. It wasn't taped. It was basically the front and the back were separated, and there was a little bit of tape taped. I'll show you to the inside. You can still see the remnants of it there. So you had a little nick of tape there, and tape there. So I've basically severed that. I've stuck these two pieces together to almost make like a little folder for it to sit in, which is a hell of a lot better than having the front stuck to the actual paper. So the outside of these is a glossy finish. And I was saying to Rob today about it. Obviously, like in an ideal I would love to somehow fuse them two pieces of paper together. There doesn't seem to. I couldn't find a definitive way of doing it. A lot of people are saying. I don't know. Bill. Fucking hell. Betty Horde. He was talking about gum paper and stuff like that, which, I've got some like he was on about repairing boxes and stuff. And that was one of the things that people were sort of saying about the magazines. There's not a lot about magazines, there's a lot about comics, like how to fix comics and how to like restaple comics, rebind them and stuff like that. But with the comic books, what they said is don't use sellotape because obviously it's paper. And obviously the glue and the gum from the sellotape reacts like an acidic to the paper and it like discolours it. Whereas this is like a gloss. And let's be honest, right? Before this does anything, I'll probably be in the fucking grave. So for me to have it like this, which, you know, I've had ones that are missing the back. This is, and outside of that, everything else in this is really, really nice. I had to buy it as a bundle, you know, so I've got to move on the rest of them, just try and recoup it. But as a stopgap, fucking that'll do. Pig, that'll do, pig. Not perfect, but the best I've seen on eBay for, God, however long I've been trying to collect these for, like a year and a half, maybe. So, yeah, beggars and choosers. That's all I'll say. Beggars and choosers. What's in that one? Oh, that's shit. So, yeah, that is effectively the Mean Machines collection done. Oh, 24 issues. From that bundle, there was a couple that actually, funnily enough, were upgrades for some of mine. So, you know, not the worst thing. Just got to all I want is just my money back that I paid, so that effectively becomes free. Right, the last two things. So, the shop that I was talking about that had like, it must have had about 20 copies of Mario. He'd had these in there. Well, he got more than these. He had a couple of like NES titles boxed, and these two had caught my eye early in the week. I'd had a couple of days off to get some of the sun early in the week, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I popped up Wednesday when the weather sort of took a bit of a dip. Nothing in the charity shops, fuck all doing, but these were in this shop anyway, and I'd sort of undernard and sort of like have a way of a think. I came back, did some sort of like checking of prices, because I'm not going to do it in this shop, and I'm not that fucking, not that uncouth. And I was still kind of on the fence a little bit, because it's getting to that time of month, you know, things are getting a bit tight with cash and stuff like that. I didn't really want to go fucking hell for leather and like leave myself short, blah blah blah. You know, need to buy beer, need beer tokens, and so it was like a bit. I'll leave it. I'll have a think. I went in Saturday, and they're still there, and the thing that was stopping, especially with one of the games, is it was covered in sellotape. Not covered, but the vast majority was covered in sellotape. And I had a look at it on Saturday. I didn't have a look in the week because I'd say I wasn't really in the position to buy it. Obviously, I've since done a few deals on eBay, made a bit of like pocket change, for want of a better word. So I thought, let's have a look at it. And I was looking at it thinking, it's been taped up for no reason whatsoever. It's not come apart. And I'd seen this a couple of times. I think Retro Dave had a game, and that was covered in parcel tape, just because that's what someone done. And I've seen it a few times where people just cover stuff in tape to protect it. So anyway, I managed to get both of these for 70 quid. So it's not cheap. 2 games, right? So it's £35 each. One of them was probably worth that, and the other one's worth way more than that. Put it that way. But the one in tape, it still is a little bit more cleaning, and you'll see. I'll show you, and you can sort of see. But by God, compared to what it looked like, I wasn't even sure I was going to have to get it off. So I didn't take any pictures. I said this to Rob because I was like thinking it's just not going to happen. It's just going to look a little bit meh. But it's come up compared to what it was like. Fucking gorgeous, and that is Life Force Salamander on the NES. So I got this loose. I've got a loose cart, so in this shelf, and the manual. This is like box complete. So what they've done, there was tape along the seam. So they taped the seam down. You're not going to be able to see it on that because it has cleaned up really well. There was tape on the back and tape on the bottom. You're not going to be able to see it, but I'll tell you where you will see. And there's tape on the lip and the tape down the hang tab. And I'll show you the lip and you'll see where the tape is. So you can still see the tape on the inside, look. So I just left that because I'm not that fucking bothered about the tape on the inside. If anything, it just reinforces it a bit. But it was covered in tape. Now that it was been done that long ago that the tape had sort of almost like petrified. So I did it on the bottom. So I thought, well, if it takes off a bit of silver from the bottom, you know, it's not as bad as it ripping. Because it had tape across the front here as well. Can you see it? I don't know if I can get the light. There's like a little bit of residue still. I've still got to do a bit more clean. There's like a residue thing across here. You can't really see it. But yeah, it'd been petrified. So must have been done that long ago. Did it at the bottom, and it just sort of like cracks off. Literally sounding exactly the same as that. But it left like a sort of yellowy, orangey residue from the glue. And I was like, oh shit. So yeah, you sort of think, oh, I'll clean it with isopropyl, but it's quite abrasive. Can be quite, especially with like card and ink. So I thought, you know what? I'll get the label remover. I'll put the label remover on to a cotton bud, and I'll just try and gently break up. It's bone fucking dry, right? There's no moisture in it at all. So it weren't really working. So I thought, okay, well, it's not taking the paint off. It's not taking the glue off. Let's just try and spray some onto it to soften it up. You know, try and get a bit of movement. And that kind of worked a bit. It was like bringing some of it off, and it just wasn't shifting it all. So you still had like, you could still see almost like a tide mark where the tape had been. Again, went back to Google, did some investigative journalism, i.e. Google, and asked about removing glue residue from cardboard, and a lot of people said soak the cotton bud in isopropyl. Don't spray it onto the surface, soak it in cotton and then just gently. So I thought, you know what, let's do the bottom. Right, so a bit of cotton bud soaked in isopropyl on the bottom. Oh my god, it all come off. I was like, oh, thank God for that. So I just did the rest of the box, and it's come up really, really nice. So long story short, just because something's taped up and it looks a little bit horrible, doesn't mean to say it's a lost cause. I can't show you. You can still see in the right light, because obviously, because where the tape's been, obviously the rest of the box hasn't like been exposed to sunlight as much, so you can sort of, I'm meant to show you. It's like a line, but you can't really see it. It just runs along the length there, but obviously to the naked eye, it's a little bit more pronounced at the top there. But again, I'm not going to catch it right. So yeah, effectively 35 quid. But the one that was okay. It's got a few little nicks. I think that's probably where a price sticker was at some point. I've got no Snes protectors. Put that one in the box. I put this into a Snes one, as you can see. It's Snake's Revenge. This one didn't need anything doing to it. So this one he had at 40. Live Force he had at 35. And just basically said like 70 for the pair, and I was like, yeah, let's just fucking do it. This one's not. Obviously, this is quite a nice copy. I mean, these. What, you're talking 55 odd quid for this in this condition. I've seen one with a big gouge that was ripped down it. All complete, it's all in there. Weirdly enough, with this, I've got this and Life Force loose, and I remembered Snakes that I had was a nice cartridge. This had a little tiny like peel at the top, so I've obviously glued that down. But my Life Force I thought was okay, but the label did have a little bit of a, again, just label peel, not damaged. So I've hopefully sorted that. But they're going to go to my mate Rob, because he's given me so much, looked after me so much in the past. I was like, told him about this story, like, he was like, I wasn't sure if he was collecting Nes or not. He goes, no, I am. I said, right, I've got, because he likes his shooters. So right, I've got 2 games you can have. He goes, no, I'm going to give you the value for them. I goes, you're not, and you're not, Robert. You're going to have them. And you're going to shut up about it. He's looked after me enough in the past anyway. But yeah, I need to get some Nes protectors. So I think that was a good deal on it. More so because I've managed to salvage Salamander. I think that's the main thing. It's come up all right. Happy with that. Happy with Mean Machines. Happy with that Snes lot. I'm going to enjoy sitting down and cleaning them cartridges up. I've got to dig out my boxes of loose cartridges and just see what's double or not. That's it, guys. Might be the last Tales of the Booter for this year. We'll see. Take it easy and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.